I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you right here on YouTube Live. And as you can see, I've got a special guest in here. Actually, I've invited a couple of people in, so we'll see what happens. But first of all, I want to tell you, welcome to the Trades Tribe. How are you doing? Welcome to this community, because getting into the trades, number one, can be so good for you, so phenomenal for you, because of the opportunities that are out there. And I just want to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, make sure everything is good. And you know, the neat thing about it is there's so many opportunities across the country. Now, yesterday I talked about becoming a millionaire in the trades, and don't get me wrong, me nor either one of my guests, I don't think are millionaires yet, but getting into the trades can lead to that opportunity if you so choose it. Now, today I'm going to introduce you to some friends of mine, and I'm going to let them tell you what they think about the trades and getting into the trades and what it's like. But I'm also going to tell you later about things that you can do to help you get in the trades and help you do better at it. Now, I am going to have to grab some headphones here, because this is something that is a little bit different for us. Let me click right here. Mr. Sean Strong, how are you?
Mr. Wakefield, I'm well. How are you?
Is everything going good?
So far, so good. It's been a pretty smooth day.
So tell me this. Let's start out. First of all, Sean Strong is a plumber out of Lincoln, Nebraska, or out of Nebraska. What part of Nebraska are you in?
Okay. The other end of the state, over on the west side. Scotts Bluff, Nebraska, to be precise.
Scotts Bluff. There you go. So have you met Scott yet?
No, he's long since dead.
Scott is long gone, people. So you know, and Sean, you've been in these lives. You've seen what I'm doing. You know that I'm trying to help recruit people into the trades. My goal, my BHAG is to help 2.5 million people. I want to help people get into the trades. I want to help people become better tradesmen. I want to help them start their own companies. And I want to teach them about the tools to help them grow their business using social media. But it all starts with getting into the trade. So first of all, what opportunity has being in the trades provided for you?
Well, as far as what it's done for me, like the most basic thing that being a plumber has done for me is just made me all around more handy. Just doing stuff around the house. I used to not be very useful other than pushing a broom. So that right there means that I couldn't make it as an electrician. But some of the other opportunities I've got, I could go anywhere in the country and do plumbing. Anywhere that has got water running through it, I could go there and get a job.
And look, number one, that's amazing, because, and you know me, I'm going to one day advocate for a nationwide plumbing license. That way, you know, when we do have problems, either in California, Florida, Texas, things like that, people can literally just come in and go straight to work. But being in the trades, and I like that because I love the fact that I'm a handy person, and I know how to fix things around my house, not necessarily because I was taught, but because I'm a tradesperson. I work with my hands, I work with tools, and I like that. Did you ever think that you could make the kind of money you make now in the trades? When you first got in, did you realize what kind of money was possible or anything like that?
No, I didn't really think about how much that I could make. One of the things that I thought about before I actually applied was when I was real little. I remember my mom saying, you should think about being a plumber someday because they make really good money. Well, the time came in my life where I was kind of desperate for a job, applied for plumbing positions, remembering what my mom said, but not really, that wasn't really my focus. I needed a job, but now that I've been doing it for a while, I am one of the better paid people in town. We're not a big metropolitan area by any means, but we do have the largest hospital on this end of the state. There's not much of anything on this end of the state, by the way, so that's kind of a low bar. But there's lots of well-paid people in town, and I'm kind of in that group. Not real well thought of because of stereotypes and things that people think about when it comes to tradesmen. But yeah, in that category of better off people. So I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So let's talk about this, the stigma of being a plumber. Cause I was on a podcast earlier and interviewed, and it was really good. My thought, and one thing that I mentioned in there is, I remember whenever I lived down in Austin, people would ask me about what I did. And whenever I told them I was a plumber, I mean, some people would literally just like back up, and it's kind of crazy, but unfortunately that's the way it is. But one of the things that I used to do is I used to tell people, well, okay, that I'm in construction, but doing research for everything that I've been doing here lately, actually, I did a piece of paper yesterday, or went through a report, and it said that most plumbers make as much or more than some doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
There's not a bad stigma about that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not something that people really think about, and maybe something that some people don't even believe.
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't always believe it. So whenever I saw stuff like that, it was like, okay, wait a minute. Is this real? And I am actually trying to send an email real quick, Sean.
Sure.
Tell me what you're out doing today.
Well, today was a good day for you to bring me in on the live, because my first 3 calls this morning were just backflow tests. So as long as everything goes well on the test, those don't take very long. And then I had a faucet to change out, and the call that I was doing right before we started this was augering out a drain for a laundry. Shout out to the subreddit, because I got some pictures that I'm going to put on there of what's going on with this laundry drain, because it's not a conventional laundry drain. But my day went real smooth. I'm in between calls right now. That's why I'm in the van. But yeah, everything went well today, and so it made it a good day to do this.
You know what? Number one, Sean, I understand how busy you are, and I do appreciate it. So, number one, you're supporting a family. You've got a wife and I believe 2 daughters, right?
Yes, sir.
And I keep trying to get you to move to Texas, and I notice you're not here yet. But I do keep trying. So, how are the trades in Nebraska? How is it up there? I mean, do y'all have all the plumbers you need? Are you constantly looking to bring people into the trades? What all are you doing, and how is it up there?
Well, up here, like I said, it's not a big city. I would classify Scottsbluff as a large town, but we have got quite a few plumbing and electrical companies and a handful of HVAC companies, and a lot of the people in each of the companies kind of move around from place to place. I'm guilty of it myself. This is the 4th plumbing business that I've worked for. 2 of them I left. 1 of them I wasn't really given the option, but I really like where I'm at. But we do have a fair number of plumbers. We've got a lot of electricians, though. I could rattle off probably 5 electrical companies off the top of my head. But the problem is, like I said, everybody's just moving around, shuffling from company to company. There's not a lot of new people coming in. So that's really what I would like to see, is more people come into the trades. So the more I can help with that, I'd just be happy to help with that, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, and look, I think that's a great thing. And I'm going to ask you one more question, and then I'm going to jump over to Jamie. I see that she's in here. So my next question, Sean, be, what advice would you give somebody getting into the trades right now? They've never been in the trades. They really don't know anything about it. What advice would you give somebody that's thinking about getting in the trades right now?
Well, I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday, somebody that you were doing a live, and they were asking questions about getting into the trade. And I kind of told them that they just need to go for it. And we messaged a little bit yesterday evening. And my advice to him was, you're not going to know if anybody's hiring until you ask. That's kind of what he was worried about. I don't know if anybody's hiring. will ask them and they will let you know. The worst they can say is no. But anybody who wonders if they would enjoy it, you're not going to know until you try it. And there's tons of other jobs out there. If you give it a shot and you decide that this isn't for you, there's thousands of other jobs out there, but you won't know what you like. You won't know what you're good at until you give it a shot.
I like that. I actually like that a lot. And it's good advice because there are open jobs out there. There are things that are available for people to do. And I think the openings are amazing. So Sean, let me introduce you to Miss Jamie McMillan. Jamie, how are you? Up.
How are you?
There we go. Fantastic. What's going on?
Not too much. Just gearing down for the summer from all my school presentations and trying to decide if I'm going to head back on the tools or take the summer off to try and build new presentations for next year.
So Jamie McMillan is actually a pipe fitter. And Jamie, how long have you been in pipe fitting?
I'm an iron worker.
Iron worker. There you go.
Yeah, I'm an iron worker by trade and an apprentice boilermaker. I've been in the industry since 2002 as an iron worker and since 2016, as a boilermaker.
So explain to people watching what iron workers do and what boilermakers do, because it's a little bit different.
Oh, absolutely. So as iron workers, if you see I have my little skeleton here that has a broken arm, but iron workers put up the structural steel of buildings. So basically the bones that support your body are like the bones in a structure that support the buildings. And we put those into the buildings that hold and support the building in the upright position. So it doesn't fall on your head in the middle of the night. And as a boilermaker, we work more on the organs and vessels of the building. So I don't have a lot of experience with boiler making, but we will work on, things like vessels and turbines and tanks and different things, especially in the oil sands here in Canada is where I did a lot of my boilermaker apprenticeship work so far, but I still have a lot to learn about that.
So as a boilermaker, iron worker, what is the craziest thing you've ever done on the job, or what is the wildest job you've ever been on?
So everything I get to do is so exciting. It's different all the time. I love the diversity of my job, working with different people, different challenges. We're constantly working ourselves out of the job because we're dispatch workers. So we build something, we the next project. One of the things that I like is that I've got experiences to work with different organizations and companies along the way. So two of my favorite jobs is when I also get to work with skilled trades because we have so many transferable skills. So one, I got to work with a company called Mammoth, which is the largest crane and rigging specialist in the world. So they do heavy equipment and machinery moving. So I got to move a lot of big turbines and transformers. We're talking thousands of pounds and modules and, put them together and then lift them up with the cranes or use jacking sliding techniques to move them over, which was really awesome. And another thing I got to do that was super cool is I got to work on towers, so transmission towers with Hydro One. As an iron worker, we got hired to help Hydro One, and we spent the entire summer climbing these transmission towers and putting a special coating of paint on them to preserve them for another 20 years from rusting from being out in the environment. So it's basically like getting paid to climb monkey bars all day. So it's super cool. Those are some of the coolest jobs that I've loved so far.
Okay, so number one, how high up in the air were you on the towers?
So some of the towers, you're up on 2 and 3 inch angle and you're up about 160 feet in the air. You'd climb to the very top, hang up your rigging, and then you would pull up your paint and put on these special gloves and just kind of work your way down the tower painting it. It was epic.
Sean, she's looking for a new apprentice up in Canada.
I don't want special gloves. I want magic gloves that are going to stick me to that. Nope, that's too high for me. I've seen video. I've seen pictures of iron workers on these high rises as they're going up, looking down, and the cars look like that. No, thank you. That's too much for me. So I'll stay on the ground. Thank you.
I haven't done a ton of the structural ironwork, which you see like the Rockefeller Center's that famous picture. I haven't done a lot of that because my local does a lot more maintenance. So through my local, I've worked a lot in gas and oil plants, steel plants, car plants, hydro plants, doing a lot of preventative maintenance, replacing old chutes, repairing, reinforcing, that kind of stuff.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Sean, I'll tell you what, first of all, how can people connect with you if they want to connect with you on social media? I'm going to pull you out of here so I can make Jamie a little bit larger on there. And then I'll see you again here in a little bit on LinkedIn. How can people get in touch with you, find you?
Well, first I want to say, Jamie, you need to get the matching haircut because you're throwing us off. Okay. So just.
Oh no. Okay. Like a flick it off.
There you go. So mostly I'm most active on Instagram as boom_the plumber. And the other place that I'm quite active on is your subreddit, reddit.com/r/Roger Wakefield posts. I do a lot of moderating on there, and I guarantee if you post a picture or a video or ask a question on there, I will see it and I will upvote it. And if you got a question, I'll do my best to help you out. So that's where I am, Instagram and the subreddit. Same username, boom_the plumber.
It is a great thing. Sean, number one, thank you for being here. Yeah, see, Jamie's already found you. So, Sean, thank you very much for being here. I will see you here in about 15, 20 minutes over on LinkedIn. Thank you again. Jamie, I'm going to ask you some questions that I asked Sean, and I've got a feeling the answers might be just a little bit different. So what opportunities has being in the trades provided for you?
Oh, I can't even begin to count the opportunities that it's provided for me. First of all, the fact that I discovered apprenticeship long after later on in my life, because I did not want to go to post-secondary education. I was never an academic. So the fact that I got a earn while you learn apprenticeship, first of all, is one of the best things. And then the fact that I got paid to learn on the job, which made the classroom. So my job site was my classroom. My coworkers were my teachers. That hands-on experience was just one of the best ways for me to learn, because that's my style of learning, hands-on learning. And then from there, the knowledge, the money, the ability to learn how to do things, to be independent, to work across the country. I have friends who have worked across Canada, the United States, and the world. And those opportunities to me are some of the most incredible things. And it makes me self-sustainable in my own life because of the transferable skills that I've learned and how I'm able to do my own home renovations. I can help my friends with different types of things because of the skills I learned. And I think to me, that's one of the most important factors.
I like that. So you talked about sustainability. Did you ever think you could make the kind of money you make getting into the trades?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially without like a college or university training, right? Like everybody thinks that you need to go to college or university to be successful in life. And not a lot of people realize that apprenticeship is another way to become extremely successful and make really good money, not to mention pension benefits. You can't beat that.
And the neat thing is you're making that money while you're learning. So you're literally getting paid to educate yourself. It's not a bad deal. And we'll talk about kick-ass careers here in just a minute, but what advice would you give someone first of all, what advice would you give anyone getting into the trades? But then number two, what advice would you give to women getting into the trades?
Okay. Well, anybody that's getting into the trades, I want to give you the advice that it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be challenge and barriers, but you're going to experience that in every single industry. No matter where you go in life, it happens with your friends, your family, from the time you're a child. It's no different in skilled trades. Those same challenges and barriers are going to be there. But we do have what it takes to be in skilled trades. Everybody does. And the greatest thing about being in skilled trades in most cases is that it's equal pay. And we're really striving to make workplaces now that are extremely friendly to everyone, right? So we're having inclusive work cultures coming into play. As for women getting into the trades, we are underrepresented in the trades, and it's amazing that we can do these jobs. And I would always, like, one of the things I always say to women is go out there and just do your best. because we do have the ability to work with the guys. We are working smarter, not harder. We're using our brains instead of our backs. And we're proving that having men and women working together, because we think of things differently, because women have to be more creative in the way that we do things, we're making a really good team working together, because now we're bringing our female perspective with the male perspective. And when we put it all together and work together in a place, it's actually so much better. And employers are really liking, there's less risk of injury, and people are working smarter. And that's one of the great things that they're noticing across the countries, Canada and the United States, by hiring more women.
Now, I've been doing research lately, and this is kind of a tough question because I don't know that you've looked for it lately. But right now, there's 900,000 open construction trades jobs across the United States. How bad is it in Canada too? Because I have people reach out to me all the time, say, "Oh my gosh, I want to get into the trades, but I don't know how."
Yes, we have the exact same issue in Canada. We took our focus away on skilled trades for a long time, and everybody was talking about, IT and, being lawyers and doctors and, all the traditional career paths that everybody already knows of. And for some reason, they forgot that infrastructure needs to be built and maintained. And so now our infrastructure is crumbling, and we don't have the people coming into skilled trades to meet the demand of labor that we need out there. And these are skilled trades jobs, are professional jobs with so much opportunity to start as a worker and work your way up the ladder, which a lot of people don't think of. So we are having the same issue. But the thing about Canada is we have an excellent federal government, and our provincial governments are recognizing this. So they're really pushing it right from grade school up now.
Well, unfortunately, we're not doing that here in the United States. We're still waiting until people get out and realize they can't go to college, and then we're like, "Oh, well, hey, there's another option over here if you want." Jamie, I'm going to go through a little bit and talk about the getting into the trades program, but I want to ask you one more question again right before we get off, and then you're going to jump over onto LinkedIn with us too, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to send you another link here, but I want to read through what we've put together into the Getting into the Trades program, and then I want to ask you what you think about it, because the things that I'm teaching, I'm not teaching the people the trades. I'm not teaching them to become an iron worker, a HVAC technician, a plumber, anything like that. So what I'm really trying to do is I've put together a program to help people. Number one, the flagship program, it teaches you, number one, to find out what trade is right for you, because there's a lot of different trades out there and there's a lot of different skill sets for each one. Finding the right one for you could be a big deal. The next one is learning basic construction skills. What is the vocabulary on the job site? Things like that. Number three, learn your way up. You do not have to, Jamie talked about getting in, but then you can move up from there and put yourself in better positions. The next one is interview skills. If you know what the person interviewing you is looking for when you walk into a job interview, you've got a much better position at getting a job offer, and probably for more money. The next one is the path to the leadership. And how far up do you want to move in a company? Do you want to learn the things it takes to become a project manager, a director of operations? What do you want to do? And do you understand that there is a clear path to leadership, but you've got to do the right things to put yourself on it? Next is competition in the trades. If Jamie and I were on the same job together, she would be talking trash about plumbers. I'd be talking trash about iron workers and boiler makers. But at the end of the day, look, we completely respect each other and what each other does. But it's just like anything else. It's like brothers and sisters. Look, we're family together. We're in a community together. We're in a tribe together. We love each other. And it's like, man, life is great. But you know what? We still talk trash about each other. It's a lot of fun. The next one is job site safety. You have to understand, one of the last things you want to happen is for somebody to come home and tell your wife or your children or your spouse, your husband, your boyfriend, whatever it is, that you're not coming home again. So job site safety is big because we all look out for each other. And then the last one is passing the exam. Now, here in Texas and most of the United States, we have a professional license for plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, things like that. So passing the exam is a big deal. Why is what I'm doing different? Because I've got over 41 years experience in the trade, commercial, residential, service, new construction, union, and non-union. I've done it all. I'm going to cut this really short, but what this all gets down to, I've put in extra videos to teach people about finance, about budgeting, about learning to grow, about doing things the right way. So, Jamie, one last question to you, because man, I got to get off here in about 2 minutes, was there anything like this in Canada for you? You joined the union and they taught you the trade, but did people literally teach you the things you needed to do to move up, to move into management, into superintendent work, things like that?
Absolutely. I personally do prefer being on the tools. I prefer working with my hands and doing the actual job. But I have had wonderful experiences. My crew has taught me how to be foreman. I've done foreman. I've done safety on the job sites. We have some wonderful programs through the Infrastructure Health and Safety Association of Ontario that if you want to take programs to learn this, our unions back us up. They support it. They pay our membership for us to take these programs. And the employers that we work for also, if we want to advance in the company, they're offering us these free programs with our employers. Our unions are offering it to us. So there is always opportunities to climb, and you are so supported by your unions and employers to do so.
I love it. Jamie, I'm going to shut this thing down. First of all, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. I am going to actually remove you right now. I'm going to have to send you another email as soon as I get over into the LinkedIn. But Jamie, number one, thank you for being here. I love what you're doing. And where can people find out more about Kick-Ass Careers real quick?
All right. Well, we have our website at kickasscareers.org. We're on Instagram at Skilled Trades Kick-Ass, and same, I believe, on Twitter at Kick-Ass Journey. We're pretty easy to find on Facebook as well. We're just Kick-Ass Careers /Journeyman. So yeah, we're not too hard to find. You just have to punch in kickasscareers.org, and all the links will be there. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll see you here in just a minute. Guys, if you're interested in getting into the trades, if you are looking for something that's a little bit different, not just the trade itself, remember, I don't want to teach you to be a plumber. I want to teach you the things that you need to know to move up, to be the best plumber you can be. My BHAG, my big, hairy, audacious goal is to help 2.5 million people, help them get into the trades, help people become better tradesmen, help tradesmen start their own companies, and help company owners get the right tools in their toolbox to grow their business with the power of social media. So number one, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Special thanks to Sean Strong and Jamie McMillan, both for being on here today. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. And if you want to, jump over onto LinkedIn. We will be there in just a moment. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And we will talk to you soon.